definitely a case of third time lucky. So third time I have been to Point of Ayr or Talacre lighthouse. I think the first occasion my batteries died, second occasion the weather was not good, batteries are fully charged and the weather's pretty good. So as you can see at the moment, sun's behind me, so I'm what I've come for is sunset, so probably a bit later on be working on the other side of the lighthouse from where I am now. But while the sun is still kind of half an hour before setting, thought I'd come and make some use of this light. So we've got a bit of water lying here in front of the lighthouse, and I'll go with a composition of lighthouse on my rule of thirds there, and using the water to provide a reflection. I've got my polarizer in just to take some of the sheen off the water and darken the clouds. But and I had a conversation with someone recently about the lighthouse because it's actually leaning, and they were talking about how they've seen it in images perfectly straight from kind of this angle or the other side, and obviously people in Photoshop had straightened it, but it actually, you know, it's actually leaning that way. So when the images are processed, don't be surprised that the lighthouse appears to lean. So I'm going to have a bit of a kind of tootle around here and look for some compositions. I was thinking of going up on the dunes, but I don't know if I've got, right, I might dash to the top of the dunes up there and see if I've got enough time. Already got wet feet. Made it to the top of the dunes. I'd forgotten how hard it is to walk on sand. So not only are my shoes full of sand, it's kind of like resistance training or something. So I'm looking for a composition that includes the dunes and the lighthouse in the distance. And I've tried this with the grass in the foreground, but I'm wondering whether it's causing a blockage in the image. So bear with me, because I'm going to move the tripod a bit and try something over here. So let's try this. There's a path in the grass here. Let me just try this. Sorry about the unusual camera angle there, but what I'm doing is there's this path here. So what I'm hoping is it leads around to the, I think it's a bit bright in the sky, leads around, kind of underexpose a little bit. Hopefully that leads around that path and doesn't cause the same blockage, there's more of a flow. But I might actually, I'm never satisfied. Not got long before the sun goes down. I'd quite like the movements in the grasses. So, just looking if this, or how about here, with this ground, what do you think, this kind of grass in the foreground just blowing, might work. Let's have another move. Saw some lovely orchids on the way up in the dunes, so it was nice. See if I can get that. So what I've done now is I've put the lighthouse right on my rule of thirds. In fact, it's so far in the distance you probably can't see it, but I'm going to hopefully get movement in this grass here, but I'm going to expose for the sky a little bit. That darkens the grass and hopefully it gives me, actually the wind wasn't blowing enough there, but it gives me a bit of movement. What I'll do now, because I really do like the movement, I'm going to go to F22, give myself a longer, that's just over half a second. So we'll see what that's like. But it's about trying to get, yeah, it might work. It's about trying to get an image that's got a bit of flow down to the lighthouse. And now there's another dune behind me. I'm just going to go and try and get up there and see what that's like. I've just got my eye on the sun, so it's probably about another 20-30 minutes. So more dune work, and then we'll see where we end up. Sorry about the dodgy camera work, by the way. Well, I moved around a bit looking for different compositions, and I think I've got one that I quite like. I'll brighten it. I like it because of these paths. There's a kind of cross way of paths, and I quite like that approach. So I've got the lighthouse kind of right up in the top third, and hopefully I'm exposing for the sky, because I think the sun's shining quite nicely on the grass here. But hopefully what that gives, I've got the horizon on the top third. The dunes take up about, so if you I'll brighten it so you can see, the dunes kind of go in an L shape, and it's about the bottom third and then the right hand third ish, and then there's this line that runs in along the beach towards the lighthouse, and the water goes in the same way. So there's a lot of leading lines and kind of rules of composition that I'm hopefully adhering to, although rules are there to be broken. I would say I've been here in a really kind of high tide winter storm, stood on the dunes, and I made a film. It's before I had my GoPro, so I think I used my phone. I think I used my phone, but the waves were undercutting the dunes, and the dunes were literally falling away, and it was you could really feel the power of nature. It was great. But every time kind of a bit of the dune fell away, I kind of moved back, and you could see kind of the erosion taking place. Anyway, sun is looking fantastic. It's out over the Benbo Bank wind farm there. So what I'm going to do is get down to the other side of the lighthouse. So what I'm hoping is once the sun is just down beyond the horizon, we get some nice colours in the sky. Keep your fingers crossed for me. Lots of birds around as well. Getting some colours now, look at that. So I made it, and probably 5 minutes until the sun's down completely. I've looked at the sun so often now I can kind of see lights in front of my eyes, but going for a kind of silhouette kind of shot, so no detail in the lighthouse, but it's all about the sky and this reflection here. So what I'm hoping is that captures the colours and kind of the clouds, and leaves the lighthouse as a little bit disappointed that kind of this from up on the dunes, this looked more like kind of a pool, but it's just mud and people have walked across it, so there's loads of kind of footprints and things which disrupts it. It'd be nicer if it was smooth, but can't have it all, I suppose. But I was shooting on f/22 just to give that starburst effect on the sun. I mentioned that before, because of the way the aperture is constructed. You get a kind of sunburst effect, so hopefully that comes out. It's got a few minutes until the sun's gone down, and hopefully some nice colour in the clouds. How's that for a sky? Look at that. Look, what did I say earlier about being third time lucky? So I've come down, I've moved away from the lighthouse a bit. Two reasons. One, I wanted to get a wider landscape shot with the lighthouse smaller in the scene, but also there were two people at the lighthouse who thought it was hilarious to shout stuff while I was trying to record video. So yeah, idiots. So I've come down. I've come down really low. Got that lighthouse, quite small in the scene, but you know, look at the colours in the sky. In fact, the lighthouse would just be a silhouette in that scene. I've taken a few already, so what I'm going to do is going to head down. It's unfortunately, this is probably the muddiest part of the beach, so I can feel, you know, when you're walking in mud and you can feel your feet are quite heavy because your shoes are so kind of weighed down with stuff. But anyway, so I'm just going to follow the water. Look at the colours behind me. Look at that. You're getting the best of it because I'm walking that way. You're looking at it, I'm not. But I'm just trying to come along here and hopefully get some more of the water as a leading line. Just maybe about here. Let's try this. Ooh, God, that was a bit sank in a little bit then. So bear with me for a second while I kind of put my camera and tripod down. Right, let's have a look at this. See what we're doing here. So down low again, and let's get that straight. Just get my camera level, and I'm gonna get some. Gonna focus on. Just switch to automatic focus. So focus on the lighthouse, and going to go over and take a reading off the sky and get that glorious, glorious colour. Now, all of these have been quite dark. I'm going to go for one a bit brighter, not too bright, just so I can see what that's like. I think the darker ones will actually make quite nice images. But kind of the point I'm making, I was trying to get more water in. It's a pity this isn't a bit kind of deeper, because you get even more reflection. But it's quite a nice. It's quite nice the way the clouds are kind of leading down to the lighthouse. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Right. Oh, oh my knees. Right. Now I don't think that water's going to offer anything more, and I don't think there's any down there, but I'm just going to have a quick wander around while there's still a bit of colour in the sky. Still lovely colour in the sky. Woo! Falling over, and see if I can find any more compositions. But look at that. Look, look, look. Third time lucky. So that is really great. That is really, really great. So hope that the GoPro probably won't show the right colours, but it's stunning, absolutely beautiful. It's been a beautiful day, and it's a beautiful sunset. Well, there we go. Quick trip to Point of Ayr, or Talacre Lighthouse. Show you so you can best of the light has gone. So I've packed up and heading home, and yeah, I quite enjoyed that. It's a quick trip. It doesn't take me that long to get here. I only live kind of over the other side of the water there. So there's a heron flying over there. So I can't imagine I'll be back here for quite a while. So I said third time lucky. It's kind of an itch I had to scratch, because I wanted to come back and get some images and make a film that showed you can actually get something here. So just looking for a place to get across the mud. So hope you enjoyed that quick trip, and I'll see you on the next one, wherever that might be, hopefully with some glorious light like I've just had. And I think there's more sand than foot in my shoe at the moment. It's absolutely full. So when I get back to the car, I have to empty the dunes out. Right, see you soon, bye.